In the name of Almighty Allah, Magnificent and Merciful, may peace, blessings and mercy of Almighty Allah be all upon you. I am Dr. Suhaib Mukhtar, and today I am going to talk about intellectual property. Law is body of principles recognized and applied by the state in the administration of justice. Law deals either with person or with property. Person is any being to whom law attributes capacity to acquire right and to execute duty. It can either be natural person or legal person. Natural person born and die naturally, and legal person born and die legally. Property is any right, title, interest upon a thing. A right is an interest, its respect is duty, and its disregard is wrong. Title is de facto antecedent of which right is de jure consequent, and interest is anything beneficial in nature. So property is any right, title, interest upon a thing. Intellectual property is any right, title, interest upon intangible thing created by an intellect. So firstly, we classify property into fungible and non-fungible. A fungible property is that property which has market value, which can be counted, weighted or measured, and non-fungible property is that property which does not have market value and which cannot be counted, measured or weighted. Fungible property further classified into tangible and intangible. Tangible can be felt or touched, and intangible cannot be touched or felt. So intellectual property is intangible property. Then tangible property further classified into movable, which can be moved from one place to another, and immovable property which cannot be moved from one place to another. So our topic is intellectual property. Intellectual property is intangible property. It is any right, title, interest upon intangible thing created by an intellect. It is a labor, outcome of a labor of a person. It is called labor theory. And then in incentive based theory, a person who has used his own labor, whose outcome is intellectual property, is not only beneficial for him as well as it is beneficial for the entire community, society. And there is personhood theory, according to which intellectual property is part of a person, but it is not true. Intellectual property is separate from a person. It is any right, title, interest of a person upon an intangible thing created by an intellect, which is an outcome of a person's labor, a person's own intellect. He used his brain to produce an outcome, so which cannot be touched or felt, but a person has a right upon it. There are various types of intellectual property. Intellectual property includes patent, copyright, trademark, geographical indication, industrial design, and plant breeders' rights. First of all, patent. A patent is any right, title, interest upon new and useful inventive step of product or process capable of industrial application. Then secondly, copyright. Copyright is any right, title, interest of a person upon literary work, literature, artistic work, cinematographic work or sound recordings. Then another type of property is trademark. A trademark is any right, title, interest of a person upon mark, name, sign, smell or a sound which distinguishes goods and services of one undertaking from goods and services of other undertakings. Then geographical indication. Geographical indication was once considered part of trademark. Now it has separate international convention and separate laws in many countries, most of the countries. So geographical indication is any right, title, interest of a person upon goods, which is either natural goods, agricultural goods, or manufactured goods, or name of goods associated with particular area. Then there is another type of property called industrial design. Industrial design is any right, title, interest of a person upon ornamental or aesthetic aspect of an article, which includes color, shape, surface, lines or pattern. And lastly, plant breeder's rights. It is any right, title and interest of a person upon new variety of plants or seeds. So these are main types of intellectual property, which internationally protected under WIPO, different conventions, treaties, agreements. WIPO is International Specialized Agency of United Nations, established on 26th April 1970. And there is another international organization, WTO, World Trade Organization. Under its agreement, it also protects intellectual property under its agreement on trade related aspects of intellectual property rights. So David I. Bainbridge is considered father of intellectual property law, and he defined intellectual property is that area of law. Intellectual property law is that area of law which concerns legal rights associated with creative efforts, commercial reputation and goodwill. This is all about the summary of main concepts of intellectual property. I hope you understood. Thank you very much.